Okay, here's what we're doing today. I want you to log back in to your quiz from the Friday before break. If you didn't do this, then you just need to go back and review your exponent rules because this isn't an option for you. And then Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, you're going to be doing the retake. So here's what I want you to do. You log back into your quiz. This is what it would look like. I picked a student that did fairly well, so I can show a couple examples. Okay, and you click review test. It'll tell you which ones you got wrong here, which ones you got right. You click review, and you can see that right here is the question, 4 to the negative second power. And we know that if we have a negative right here, our negative exponent rule, it goes to the bottom. So I come back over here to this person's quiz, and they correctly moved it to the bottom. And then they also went further and made it 1/16th, because that is the simplest that you can do this expression. So the student did a great job on number 1. They showed their work. They showed the steps. They used the equation editor that I showed you in your video multiple times this year. If some of you use the equation editor and if you didn't use the equation editor, then the questions don't get inputted correctly and they get marked wrong. Question 2. Again, you cannot have a negative exponent in your answers. So the student moved the -5 to the bottom correctly. They showed their work. They have that division bar going all the way across. That's the correct way to do it. Now go to number 3. Now it says this student got this one wrong. So let's look at why this one is wrong. You'll see in their first step, they accidentally removed the 4. So this part is right. They are applying the division rule that we have, and it's subtracting the exponents. Then they applied the negative exponent rule and moved it to the bottom, but they forgot the 4. And again, excellent job of showing work. If this was, on this quiz we made everything 1 point correct or 0 points wrong. But if this would have been a 3 or 4 point question, they would have received all of their points except for 1. And let's do one more. Student happened to also get this one wrong. Let's see what happened. So if you look here, they correctly, nope, they didn't. That's where their mistake is. This y to the 3 is on the bottom. It is not negative, so you have no reason to move it. The only thing that is negative is x to the -2. So the x goes to the bottom, which they correctly did. They put the x squared on bottom. But this, you had no reason, no rules said that you had to move this y cubed. So the y cubed should have been on the bottom. So it should have been y over x squared y cubed. So there's what they did wrong on that one. So here's what you're going to do. So here's how you do your quiz corrections. Any problem you get wrong, you're going to take a blank sheet of paper. You're going to write the problem that you got wrong. So let's say you got number 3 wrong. You're going to write the question down. And then you're going to write your steps, the correct steps. So this one here, it becomes 2 minus 3. This becomes a to the negative 1. And then this is something some of you guys were doing wrong. It's just 4 divided by a. It is not 4 divided by a to the 1. Because we can go simpler than a to the 1. It is just a. And then you are also going to write what your rule is. So this is our quotient rule. And then I'll do number 4. They had 4x to the negative 2, so I'm going to write the problem down. Y cubed. So these problems are very similar. Okay, but the only thing I have to move is this. So that just goes to the bottom. And I'm done. And that is our negative exponent. Rule. So any problem you got done, I don't care if you got one wrong. That'll make your assignment really quick. Do this, and then I'd recommend that you retake the quiz. If you turn this in throughout the day on Thursday, I will send you a video with all 12 answers. So you can check your work to make sure that even though you tried these quiz corrections and took another shot at it, tried to find your mistakes, you can compare it to mine and make sure that you got the correct answer. And then you can take the quiz again. Remember, I told you you could use these rules. So you can have them written down. One thing I want to point out as you're getting ready to do your corrections, if you look over here at all the examples we did, and every example we did throughout this chapter, not a single one of them had a negative exponent in the answer, and that's because of this rule down here. So you can't stop, like on this one here, 1/2 k to the negative 3. You have to take that k to the negative 3 and move it to the bottom. Why did I get k to the negative 3? Well, I did 2 minus 5 and got negative 3. And then I can't have a negative, so I moved it to the bottom. Right? But if you notice on number 1 here, I have a negative 5. That's different. That's a number. You can have a negative number. You cannot have a negative exponent, which is why I took the x to the negative 2 and moved it to the bottom. So that's what you're doing for Thursday. Quiz corrections. That's it. Go back. And this is something you should do every quiz, because the test questions are always almost the same. Review your quizzes. I'm yet to have a single person this year, out of all the tests and quizzes I've had, try to argue for a point and say, hey, I got number 2 right. Or hey, I deserve an extra point on number 4 because I showed my work. I'm yet to have a single person just bring it up and question their grade. And I think part of the problem is that some people aren't going in and reviewing their quizzes and tests when they get turned back. And all you have to do is put your code back into Elluminate. And it's there for review. I'll tell you how many points you got, how many points were possible. Friday, technically, we do not have class because of the PSAT. So really, if you want to do the retake on Thursday, once I send it to you, you can. Or it might be homework this weekend. Some of you really need to raise your grade up. So I recommend it gets done. I will not take it past Monday. So Monday's an option as well. But after Monday, you are not allowed to retake this quiz. Period. So if you have any questions, get them answered before you take your quiz. And good luck.